Hello everybody, my name is Epigen, and welcome back to the mess that is my channel. And today is actually the 1 year mark of an old build of mine that actually can be very viable this season, and is a lot of fun to use. That build is going to be the Shatter Titan build I made a year ago. And why this is so important is because the seasonal mods we have this season really synergize with this old build. Now, I didn't come back to it because in its armor charge variation, it wasn't very good, and still has a lot of tweaks that need to be made to it, which I will talk about, as this build still has the same problems as the old one, but I'll get into something that can help us with that whenever I'll get it. But with that out of the way, and me contemplating why this build is actually back, let's get started with the video. So, let's talk about the exotic of choice, and that's actually going to be the Hoarfrost Z. Now, why this is so unique is it makes your stasis, when you're on a stasis subclass, when you use your barricade, is actually now a crystal wall that you can use and has the benefits of a rally barricade. Now, it's very important as we will go into the mods here, as we go into our subclass. So, on the helmet, we have an Ashes to Assets and the Thermodynamic Siphon from the artifact selection. So I can make orbs with solar weapons or orbs with stasis weapons. Just so that we have that clear. And then for our gauntlets, we have 1 firepower to create orbs with our crystals, bolstering detonation so when we get a hit with our grenade, then we get some cooldown on our class ability, and then grenade kickstart, so that we can get a chunk back when we have armor charge. And then speaking of armor charge, we have 2 charged ups for just that we have ×5 armor charge. Now for our boots, we have elite elemental charge and stacks on stacks and a recuperation for a little bit of health back for elemental charge. So that way, when we get a stasis shard, we can get have an escalating chance to get an armor charge, and then stacks and stacks so we can get another charge. And then we have 2 bombers and a utility kickstart. The bomber so we can get a little bit back when we use our class ability, and then utility kickstart for the same reason why we have a grenade kickstart on. If you want to switch this out for Reaper, then that is also a very good option for it. For the subclass, first off, what's very important is, I don't know if this is true or not, but Rally Barricade is actually the way to go instead of towering, because it has lower cooldown, and that does matter if you want to get your barricade back faster. So keep that in mind. For our melee, we always have the Shiver Strike, so that doesn't really matter. But for our grenade, it's going to be the Glacier Grenade, so we can make stasis crystals, and then it will shatter them into shards with the aspect Tectonic Harvest. And so every stasis crystal we make, we create stasis shards. It's very nice for that. And then Howl of the Storm, so we can have our melee create stasis crystals. For fragments, we have Whisper of Shards, so we can have increased grenade energy regen for 10 seconds. And every time we destroy a crystal, it refreshes that timer. So you have a lot of uptime with this timer in mind with the regeneration. And then we have Whisper of Rending, so for our primary ammo weapons, we do increase damage to the crystals so we can shatter them faster. I know a wave frame can get them instantly, but wave frames are so inconsistent with stasis crystals, I don't like them. And then we have Whisper of Hunger, so we can get increased melee energy gained from when you pick up stasis shards. And then this is really up to you. I've been using assortment of stuff. Whisper of Fissures, I know Whisper of Rime got nerfed. And honestly, this is what this build suffers from, is survivability. It has the damage, it has the ad clear, but survivability is just not there for it. So there are a couple of options you can choose for this. You have Rime. I usually go Fissures just to do as much damage as possible, but you can also use Whisper of, I believe it is Chains, where if I can find it, yes, Whisper of Chains, so you can have some reduced damage when you are near a stasis crystal. Or if you want to go with the more ability uptime route, then Whisper of Fractures and Whisper of Torment is a good option. Or if you just want stasis crystals to come to you, or stasis shards to come to you, then Whisper of Conduction is definitely the way to go for that. Once again, this 4th slot is very much up to you and what you want to use there. Now for our artifact mods, first up we gotta talk about Flame, Fiber, and Freeze. This basically gives us a Solar or Strand or Solar and Stasis siphon mods, and therefore I have 2 in 1, and it's very helpful for that. I mean, everything's pretty typical for the normal stuff here: Kindling Trigger, Flint Striker, Wish into Being, and then these 2 are the most important mods here: Pillar of Ice and Hail the Storm. Pillar of Ice says that when you defeat a encased combatant, it will spawn a stasis crystal. So you do another stasis crystal and you make more shards because of it. And then Hail the Storm is the prime perk for stasis builds, especially for this one. What it says is when you shattered encased targets and stasis crystals, it'll do increased damage to them. Do increased damage with that shattered. And when I shatter them, I release shards of ice that damage and slow targets. That also increases damage a little bit, but not by much, but it's still very nice to have. So these 2 are very important for this build. So in terms of survivability, which is something I've been really trying to point out in this, and probably sound like a broken record by now, is that survivability is just not this build's strong suit. Now there are obviously ways to go around it and figure stuff out, but what I've found to be most helpful right now is actually the weapons. So on my sidearm I have a heal clip roll, and what heal clip does is when I get a kill, I heal myself basically in my surrounding and in my surroundings. If my allies are nearby, they also get that cure proc. Why this sidearm is so unique is because it can get heal clip and kill clip, so they synergize together perfectly because they are legitimately the same perk, but with 2 different things, but one heals and one does increase damage. It's really helpful for that. Now I know you could, now for the exotic weapons, I've actually kept that open. And the reason for that is because there are a lot of variations you can do here. So you can use Edge of Concurrence, or not concurrence of action, so you can make a mini bubble and then pop your super, do massive shatter damage with your super. There is an option. You can also have Salvation's Grip, so you can do a bunch of crystals and just constantly shatter them. Now I don't have Salvation's Grip on me because I don't like Salvation's Grip, even with the rework. That's just me, however. If you like it, good on you. And then there's the last thing, which is Verglass's Curve, which creates stasis crystals when you get a kill, or when you get a kill, you can hip fire and make stasis crystals, and just have that constant effect of getting it back. But there's actually one exotic. There's one exotic that I'm really looking for that really puts this build together, and done right can give you a ton more survivability. And the one I am talking about is actually the Buried Bloodline. Because of its perk, Violent Reanimation, it says that multiple final blows with this weapon grant Devour. And Devour gives me grenade energy and health. Now I know this was nerfed this season for non-Feed the Void Warlock. Basically, anyone that's not a Warlock with the Feed the Void aspect, this got nerfed for all of us. But it's still very good because you can get multiple kills and it wouldn't matter anyway with this build. And so you'd always keep getting your grenade back, and therefore you're getting your melee back because you keep creating stasis shards. There are so many synergies here that work together, and honestly I strongly feel like if you have the Buried Bloodline with this build, it might be the best for its survivability aspect, and also keeping its damage. So that's how I feel about it. And if you guys have it, well, good on you. So that's it for the video, guys. That's all I really have for this. There's no really final thoughts. I've really put out everything I wanted to on this. The build is great. It does a lot of damage most of the time if you do it right. And it's amazing for ad clear and just absolutely melts champions when you do it right. And yeah, that's really all I got for this. So, next video, I don't know what's going to be the next video. Probably something with the Warlock. I know I want to do something with the Warlock. Maybe re-review stasis turrets, see how that goes. But for now, this is it for me. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Ah, heal. Ah, I fucking went. Ah, damn it. I knew I overstretched my boundaries with that. I, I overpushed. Oh, hello, Mr. Gladiator. What? Okay. Goodbye. What the fuck? Ah! Is that his unstop? Ow. I can't heal. Yeah, like what are you doing, brother? You're so close to dead too. Ow! He's won! Oi! You can fuck off up there. Oh shit. Ow. Ow. Ow.